Okay, everybody. Good, well, it's morning now. It's after 12 here where I'm at. I'm central. But anyway, I'm bored and I've been very lazy with my videos. So I'm just going to make this short video um, and have a little small talk. Okay, so this weekend in New Orleans was the Essence Festival. All right. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I wanted to talk about Maafa. Every first weekend, every first Saturday in July every year for the past 25 years, because this was the 25th anniversary, we have Maafa. Okay, what it is the commemoration of our ancestors. They originally, talked about the ancestry that came here from Africa, but this year they didn't go too deep into it and say certain trigger words or anything, but they commemorated the ancestors that were here already here, who had um, their own Maafa right here on this continent. So that was great. So after we made it to the river, we sat down, we sung, we drummed. People got up and did poetry, and so it was ready. It was time for me to go because I had to go to work anyway. So I'm walking down Canal, and again, this is Essence Fest weekend. Um, used to be centered around our lineage here in America. Uh, and on every corner there was the Hebrew Israelites. So one brother came up to me with a pamphlet, and I was like, nah, and then he kind of like, I turned around and I said, I'm just gonna listen to what he has to say. All right, so he's obviously very passionate and very energetic. So he starts talking about us black folk in America, how we were slaves in ancient Egypt. Oh my God. Okay. They enslaved us in ancient Egypt, and then I guess we made it back to our land. They still calling that Israel, claiming that Israel over there is their land, our land, and we're the tribe of Judah, and so forth. Okay, I kind of feel that by now they should have correctly interpreted the Bible concerning the 12 tribes so they could make some doggone sense out of what they're saying. Okay? Because it doesn't make any sense to keep talking about how the Egyptians slaved us, and that a bowl of dust over there in the so-called Middle East called Israel today, which was stolen from the Palestinians, which were stolen from the original deeply melanated people, is our homeland. Okay, you need to stop. First off, they need to reread the the Old Testament, where and go to the what is Jeremiah, the chapters and the books that specifically talk about the children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel. And they will see that the surrounding area, that the where the 12 tribes are, at least one of the tribes, I don't know how they saying it now, all 12 or just one. I think it was all 12. I'm going to say all 12. You should see the environment where the Bible states that they were living. And it does not, nothing in the environment is similar to what Israel is today or ever was. Okay, so the Bible talks about corn, the Bible talks about whales, the Bible talks about grizzly bears and other things that are not found in that part of the land. The only place you're gonna find an abundance of whales are whales, period, I ain't talking about whales just swimming through. I'm talking about where whales live and thrive is right here in the Americas. All right? Alaska, in the Americas. Corn is not original to the Middle East. I don't even think during those times, during so-called biblical times, that they had corn. Corn had yet been traded and entered that area at that time. But corn is plentiful in America. Corn is indigenous to America. There are no grizzly bears or any type of bears in today's Israel. There are no bears, especially grizzly. All those bears over here. There is no other place on this planet that has grizzly bears, she bears, grizzly bears, female bears. Okay, that's us. And they read this and they see all these discrepancies plus more, because the ark, the ark that saved Noah's family from the flood was made out of wood that is only found in Florida, here in the Americas, and in only one place in Florida, one small area in Florida at that. So many contradictions. If they read about their history in the Bible, which you can't just take it as face value, you got to really go through there and put the pieces of the puzzle together, and it's not easy. They would have seen these contradictions. He wouldn't have came up to me talking about this silly shit, talking about we was enslaved by the Egyptians, and Israel's over there in that dust bowl, that dirty ass dust bowl, getting ready to get bummed to high hell, is our homeland. So they say that, and I've always heard that we are the tribe of Judah, the so-called Black Americans, okay? And then there's a tribe. The Haitians have a tribe. The Dominicans are a tribe, and so forth. Okay, the Latins, the Latinas, and stuff like that. Dominicans, Haitians are a part of the Puerto Ricans are one of the tribes. Now, the only one I can think of right now is Haitians are allegedly the tribe of Levi, the Levi tribe, or whatever. All right. So we were in, I guess, okay, let me just try to go back. We were in our own country, Israel. Jerusalem got destroyed. We had to leave. Ended up in Egypt. Got slaved in Egypt. Then got freed from Egypt, Moses and God, and went through that 40 years travail, traveled through the wilderness. It wasn't even supposed to be 40 years because it don't take 40 years to get from Egypt to Israel, but because of the people's sins, because they built another idol god to worship, they had to stay in the wilderness for 40 years instead of about 4 months, if that much, 4 weeks, or whatever. Okay, that's how the story goes. And then somehow we end up walking back across the African continent all the way to the West Coast to be sold back to America by the Africans, okay? And somehow all the tribes were able to come together and end up in their little specific locales, all right? Oh, Lord, this is a headache. This is a headache. This is a headache. And they want somebody to join their group or religion or sect or cult or whatever you want to call it. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Why didn't I just keep going? Why did I take that pamphlet from that young man and have the nerve sit up and listen to the other man? Because he said, oh, won't you hear what he got to say and blah, blah. And the man was talking about, I had just come from my office, so I had my beautiful white dress on. My head is wrapped. I don't wrap my hair unless I'm at work or unless I'm at an event like my office that usually the women there, and maybe sometimes the men have their head wraps, okay? And he's talking about, look at you. You're covered up. Your head is wrapped. And look at all these other women. The butt is out. The titties out. And they ain't got no clothes on. See, our women supposed to be like you and dress like you and keep your head wrapped and your body covered. And oh God, why didn't I just keep walking? Everybody else was like, nah, very polite and kept walking. Why didn't I keep walking? See, that's what I get. This stupidity. Lord have mercy, help those people. They ain't deep at all. Their energy, I went by there and their energy is dead or something. Something was weird about that energy of those Hebrew-like brothers. And they had little groups on every freaking corner. Hassling and harassing folks like they usually do, screaming out racial obscenities. And oh God, the energy from those young men are not right. And I'm the type of person that I want to see black men join some type of sect, some type of religious order, some type of belief system. Our men need discipline. They need discipline. They need structure. They need culture. The women too, but I'm talking about the men now, okay? So don't be talking about what about the women? Duh. What about black women? Duh. I'm talking about y'all now. You need what it is that they will, encourage you and help you attain. Israelites, the Muslims, the Moors, something. Join some type of fraternal order. It doesn't matter what it is. But those, leave the Israelites alone, the common ones. If you want to be a Hebrew Israelite, form your own sect and go through the Bible and look at all those contradictions and look at all the pieces to the puzzle scattered and put it together where it will make some sense. Maybe you'll get somebody to want to join, and you'll get the women want to wear cover their body from top of their head to the tip of their toes and wear a rag on top of their head for the rest of their life and smoldering heat, because I think it was like 99 degrees out there. Maybe you get somebody to want to do that shit. Boy, I'm getting a headache talking about them. So I said I was going to be short anyway. So peace, y'all. Thanks for listening to this video. Please like and share. Support the channel. I do appreciate you. I love you. And peace.